Hello, I'm Brian, and this is my video log number 2 for interaction number 1 for class TE 150. I did it with my friend Pratik Ramchandani, and he had a pretty unique education while growing up. He grew up in Nigeria until he was about 10, and in Nigeria he went to elementary school in an Indian school. So it was just Indian students at the elementary school, so it was culturally segregated from the country he was in. When he was 10, he moved to India and continued going to school in India and went to high school in India. Now, he told me that he graduated in a small class, which growing up in California, class sizes are usually 800 to 1200. And I graduated from a small class of 120. So when he said that his class size was just 20 people, that really surprised me. He decided to come to MSU for the engineering and physics program, but he also wanted the freedom to take other courses he wanted to take, like philosophy and other things that he would not have been able to take if he went to school in India. He did get accepted to a couple other universities in America, but it really came down to that he got a significant scholarship here. So, one of the first questions I had asked him was what surprised him the most when he first came to MSU. And he actually said it was the way that international students segregated themselves, like the way they make little groups with other people from the same place or who speak the same language, and that he felt that it defeated the purpose of studying abroad. That if you're studying abroad and you're not putting yourself into the culture, you're not really studying abroad, you're just studying somewhere else. I remarked that this actually happens a lot of places, like even looking at him in Nigeria. They were in Nigeria, but they were still a culturally segregated Indian group in Nigeria, so it was very similar to what's happening here. And even looking at places in America, like San Francisco, where you have Chinatown, where most people there are Chinese and they speak Chinese. And even more around the world, my parents recently were in Nassau and they wanted to go get some Greek food, so they went looking for Greek restaurants and they found them, all four of them, right next to each other. The only four restaurants in Nassau. So culture, people always look for cultural similarity and comfort and group up in that way. So that was something that was fun to see talk about. Looking at learning strategies, I asked him, what would you do if you had a physics exam next week? And he said he really wouldn't do anything because he already had attended the classes, taken notes, and done the homework, and he hadn't had any issues with those three things, so he didn't really need to study because he understood it. But that if he had issues with homework, then he would have gone back and looked over things and then finished the homework, and then he would have been fine with it anyway. And I agree with him on that as long as you go to class and do the homework and do well on the homework, then you're fine. So looking at what we talked about with things we've learned in class these last couple of weeks is in early education, it really kind of did follow Piaget's, these are the age ranges for learning things, because both in the elementary schools there and the ones here, well, at least in California, the age ranges were split up into these 1 to 2 year brackets for first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade basically. So even around the world, learning for children is the same range of ages. So it was really interesting to talk to Pratik, and I'm looking forward to our next encounter. Thank you for watching the video.